Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That's guest co-host actor Kyle Hester. And we're here with photographer-director Michael Roud. If you have any questions for Michael, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And just for calling in, guys, you're going to get a copy of The Chictionary, which is our guest from 2 weeks ago, Anna Leffler. She wrote that book, and it's pretty hilarious. Free copies for anybody that calls in.
Looks great. Should I go outside and call?
Yeah, that's
sure.
How can I call? Can I use my cell phone to call now?
Why not? It's hilarious. It's a hilarious book. Michael Roud. Michael Roud is a photographer in Los Angeles, but he also, in addition to photography, he does some other things as well. Tell us a little bit about what else you do besides photography, Michael.
Sure. Well, I also do quite a bit of directing. I've been doing a bunch of music videos lately, and have a Western out called Black Cadillac, and been doing a bunch of commercial work as well. So, doing photography and directing as well. So loving it and glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for being here. We get a lot of, the question that I hear a lot from actors is what do casting directors, what do agents look for in a good headshot? I'm sure you've heard that question too, Kyle.
Never.
Never.
I'm the only one. No. Hang me out to dry over here.
For sure.
What do you think are the best things to look for?
I think the main thing, there's so many different elements, and everyone's criteria is a little different, but at the end of the day, we're looking for a sense of authenticity, and that we can get a sense of someone's soul in their eyes and a feeling for them in the photograph. And that's the number one thing that people need to really pay attention to. Lighting and framing and composition and lenses and having the right resolution are all very important. But at the end of the day, it comes down to authenticity in getting a feeling in the photograph that we all relate to, that speaks to us on a very human level.
Makes sense. I've heard the eyes are the most important thing.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one of our sayings, and the saying in general is, your eyes are the window to your soul, and I think that's very true in headshots. That your eyes need to speak and tell a story, one that's interesting and relatable. And guys always want to look like a tough guy or a badass or something that they can imagine playing a certain role in an action movie. But at the end of the day, with casting directors and even agencies and submitting, there's a lot of people who are the badass or the tough guy, and we want to see people are looking for a depth to that and something relatable and human in that, as are all the roles that we relate with on film and TV.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think that's really important and something that we often know that we need to do, but we don't know how to get there.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So how do people get there?
Well, I mean, I think something that I really emphasize for actors in general is to really know themselves and also what types of roles they want to be playing, and not just at the same time want to be playing, but are appropriate to play for them. So having a realistic sense of yourself is super important, and what your abilities are and what your marketability is based on how you look. A kid who's 300 pounds that wants to play the action hero is less likely to be the action hero. However, there's tons of roles for that person.
Sure.
In different mediums or TV shows. Oftentimes people come into the studio, females in particular, and everyone wants to be sort of the beautiful bombshell, super sexy, the vixen, something maybe a lead in True Blood or the newest TV show. But you have to realize that there are a million people out there, or tens of thousands of people in LA that want that role and that believe that they are that or are wanting to go for that. And it's not a good way to approach marketing yourself and succeeding in the industry in a way that is true even to yourself. I think oftentimes it's better to understand the nuances of who you are and how you can be very successful in various characters instead of sort of that one stereotypical lead. And I think really understanding that and pushing that.
So it's really about kind of knowing what your character is and knowing how to market yourself.
Exactly. I think that's super important. And then visually sort of understanding your look and being true to yourself, or having others who can be true to you so that you can get it. I think that a common thing is people tend to look in the mirror and actors are very self-critical of themselves. And often actually it's hard for you to really see how you look. You look at yourself every day in the mirror, so it's hard to really tell what
So you should
look
take down all mirrors.
Take down all mirrors. I don't want a single mirror in your house. Absolutely not.
But you know the way you're talking, you do the photography, but and I don't want to pigeonhole you by using this word, but you almost sound like a career coach. You know.
Well, I mean, I love working with actors on that level for people to really understand their marketability and what makes them successful and approachable.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we're going to be back with photographer director Michael Roud. If you have any questions for him, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And coming up, we have Natalie Sullivan and April Lang of Collected Stories opening on September 8th at the Odyssey Theater, odysseytheater.com. We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Kyle Hester right here on CRN Digital Talk.